Are you noticing increased weight gain, brain fog issues, bloating, increased digestive problems, and your doctor is just scratching her head because it's just not adding up with your blood work? The blood tests don't look bad, nothing is really standing out, and you start wondering, is it just aging, genetics? Am I missing something? What is the real issue? It isn't just your hormone levels, but what your body is doing with those hormones. Because there's one piece that almost no one is looking at, and it can completely change this pattern. And here's what I see all the time. Women come in with stubborn weight gain, brain fog, food sensitivities, digestive issues, and they're never connected to their gut, the gut and the hormones together. And how do I know this? Because I lived it myself and I see it every day in practice. So clients say, I get bloated all the time. The foods that I've always eaten are now bothering me all of a sudden. And my own experience after menopause really highlighted this for me, because I suddenly became highly sensitive to certain foods that I had eaten all my life. And I was having to check every label and questioning everything I ordered. And it wasn't until I realized that this was a different kind of hormone problem that no one had explained to me. And what most of us don't understand, it's not just your estrogen or progesterone levels on a blood test, it's how your body actually handles estrogen. So your body is designed to do three things with estrogen. It has to use what it needs, so we have to put it through the body and use that estrogen for all the things estrogen does, which is a lot. Then it has to break down any excess and excrete it. So the last step is where most of us get stuck, because your gut plays a major role in actually clearing estrogen out of your body. And if your gut isn't working well, that estrogen doesn't leave. And here's the part that really changes everything. Your body actually packages estrogen to send it out, but there's certain gut bacteria, the bad bacteria, that can open that package and send it right back into your bloodstream. So instead of eliminating it, you recycle it. And that's the kind of recycling we don't want. And this can happen even if your labs look completely normal. And it's where a lot of confusion comes in, because people are talking a lot about estrogen dominance, and yes, that's real. But it's not always about making too much estrogen or taking in too much estrogen. Sometimes it's about not clearing it. And this actually is very common. So you can have normal levels on paper, but still have symptoms because your body isn't processing it properly. And here are some common signs that I look for. That bloating, especially after meals or later in the day, not going to the bathroom regularly, being constipated, or not fully clearing, food sensitivities that seem to come out of nowhere and are getting worse, and then these symptoms that come and go, like brain fog, mood shifts, getting angry suddenly, things like that, weight gain. The weight gain doesn't come and go, it just comes. And a lot of women think these are all separate issues, but they're often connected. And it works both ways. If your gut is irritated and you don't process and clear estrogen well, and if your hormones are off, especially low progesterone can also exacerbate this, your gut becomes a lot more reactive. And this is why so many women notice in midlife you have increased food sensitivities, more bloating, and also more inflammation. What they call leaky gut is connected here too. And it's not just the food, it's the environment inside your body. So let's talk about the number one food mistake I see women make, and this one shift can change everything for you. Women are trying to eat healthy, but they're not actually supporting elimination. They're not getting enough real fiber consistently. And fiber is what helps your body bind and remove estrogen. So if you're not getting enough, that estrogen just doesn't leave efficiently. And most women I see are getting maybe 10 to 15 grams of fiber a day, but your body actually needs 25 to 35 grams a day to properly support detox and elimination. That's a really big gap. So when research took a look at traditional rural diets like African diets, they're very high in fiber, and they find that they have remarkably better gut health, lower rates of hormone-related issues compared to Western diets. And we see the same pattern in a lot of traditional cultures before the advent of all processed foods. So people were getting 40, 50, 60 grams of fiber a day back in that time. And what do we see in those populations? Not only do they have lower rates of hormone-related issues, but they actually live longer and healthier lives. So fiber does a few really important things. It helps move things through your system. It feeds the good bacteria in your gut, and it helps carry excess estrogen out of the body. So without enough fiber, you're not clearing what your body is trying to get rid of. We also have research showing that higher fiber intake is associated with lower circulating estrogen levels, but better estrogen balance, because more of the excess is actually being eliminated properly, and you're not reabsorbing what your body's trying to get rid of. Okay, so that's the most important thing here. So instead of overcomplicating things, start here. Make sure you're getting enough fiber, 25 to 35 grams. You might try using a nutritional counter on your smartphone, or manually add it up from the grams on the food labels, and you'll get used to knowing how much is in your food. That alone can start to shift things in a really big way if you're having some of these issues. So if you want deeper guidance on how to actually support your gut and your hormone balance naturally, I recommend taking the hormone quiz as a starting point, and I go into this step-by-step inside my program where we do in-depth testing and customized support. I'll leave the link below for the hormone quiz. All right, have a great day. Namaste.